the emotional intensity between Fan Zhao and Shulang. And this episode gives us one of the most unforgettable slow-burn tension-filled nights that fans will be replaying for months. The story begins with something simple, almost silly, something that shouldn't matter at all in a normal situation. A playful comment, a small joke, just a lighthearted remark from Fan Zhao. But because of who they are, and because of how complicated their connection has become, that small joke hits deeper than expected. Even though Fan Zhao didn't mean anything serious by it, and even though it was said casually, Shulang reacts in that quiet, subtle way he always does, never loud, never dramatic, but just a little colder than usual, a little more distant, a little more unreadable. He doesn't lash out or complain. He simply goes silent in that way that tells Fan Zhao instantly that something inside him has been touched. Not anger, not real, hurt, but that heaviness that settles over him whenever he cares too much. Fan Zhao notices immediately, because he always does. He's loud and chaotic, but he is incredibly sensitive to Shulang's small emotional shifts. And even though he knows it was only a joke, he still spends half the night trying to coax him back, trying to make him smile again, trying to melt that thin layer of frost that appears around him whenever he retreats into himself. What makes this moment even sweeter is the fact that Shulang is not actually petty. He's not someone who stays upset over small comments. He knows Fan Zhao never meant any harm. But for once, he lets the distance stay just a little longer, not because he wants Fan Zhao to feel guilty, but because he wants to watch the way Fan Zhao tries to fix it. It's rare for him to allow himself the luxury of being cared for, and he discovers that it actually feels good to let Fan Zhao fuss over him, tease him, chase him, and brighten the room with laughter until his own mood slowly dissolves into warmth. His cold demeanor isn't real coldness, but a wall he keeps around himself. And tonight, he lets Fan Zhao climb over it. As the night deepens, the atmosphere between them shifts again, not into something dramatic or explosive, but into a quieter, softer place. Eventually, Fan Zhao announces that he's going to take a shower. It should be an ordinary moment, but this show knows how to turn even the most basic actions into scenes dripping with tension. Fan Zhao steps into the bathroom, thinking about the past, remembering how he once acted the perfect role of a strong, injured man. He had put on such a dramatic performance, playing the tough character with a wounded hand. But even then, Shulang didn't pamper him, didn't take over, didn't help him bathe like some kind of romantic drama scenario. Instead, Director Yu had simply tied a large plastic bag over his injured hand with meticulous care, making sure water wouldn't touch it, and then sent him off to handle the rest himself. It was practical, professional, a gesture that showed he cared but would not cross any lines. Inside the bathroom now, Fan Zhao slips into that familiar relaxed version of himself. He removes the splint from his hand with ease, showing that he has already recovered more than anyone realizes. His movements are natural, confident, a little careless in the way someone becomes when they are in a private space. He begins to change, completely unaware that this quiet moment is about to turn into one of the most talked about scenes of the episode. Just as he begins to undress, the lighting shifts slightly. A shadow passes across the frosted glass door of the bathroom. It's a soft outline of a figure, tall and calm, standing just outside. Fan Zhao pauses, recognizing the familiar shape instantly. Before he can say anything, there's a light knock on the door, gentle and controlled. Then Shulang's voice comes through the glass, steady, calm, slightly scolding, but also warm. Fan Zhao, you forgot to bring your bath towel in. Of course he did. Fan Zhao, who is normally picky about everything, especially when traveling, has a habit. He refuses to use hotel towels. He always brings his own towel and bathrobe, and Shulang knows this. He knows it so well that he noticed immediately when Fan Zhao went into the bathroom without his towel. Instead of laughing or calling it out later, he quietly brings it to him, as if it's the most natural thing in the world to take care of Fan Zhao in small, intimate ways like this. Fan Zhao steps out just enough to take the towel, his mind clearly wanting an excuse to say something more, to tease him again, to stretch out the moment because it feels strangely intimate. One of those everyday situations that feels like something deeper when it happens between these two. But before he can even get a word out, Shulang gently pushes the door closed from the outside. It's not forceful, not cold. It's a simple gesture that says, "Okay, enough. Shower first." Fan Zhao has to step back quickly, startled, and the moment leaves him speechless for once. He looks at the closed door, blinking, amused, flustered, and weirdly fond. Even though it was a small interaction, it leaves behind a feeling he can't easily shake. After he finishes showering, Fan Zhao wraps a towel loosely around his waist and opens the bathroom door, only to freeze in shock. Standing right outside the doorway is Shulang, leaning against the wall in a relaxed posture, holding a glass of red wine like he stepped out of a magazine photo shoot. His whole aura is different here. Quieter yet more intense, more confident, almost dangerously calm. The lighting of the hotel hallway softens his sharp features, and in this moment, he looks warm, charming, and unexpectedly seductive without even trying. It's the kind of moment that makes viewers gasp because the contrast between his normal strict self and this version of him is overwhelming. He isn't there to lecture. He isn't there to tease. He's just waiting. Waiting for Fan Zhao. His posture is casual, but the look in his eyes is anything but. When he lifts his gaze and looks at Fan Zhao, it's slow, deliberate, and filled with an emotion that cannot be ignored. It's admiration wrapped in silence, affection disguised as calm, something soft and tender hiding under the surface of that cool exterior. Fan Xiao's mind goes blank, completely blank. His heartbeat jumps, his breath catches, and he stands frozen in place with the towel around his waist, staring at Shulang like he's suddenly seeing him in high definition for the first time. The show lets this moment stretch out beautifully. There is no background music playing loudly, no dramatic reaction, no comedic interruption. Just two men standing in a quiet hallway, one freshly out of the shower and flustered, the other leaning with a glass of wine and looking at him like he's the only person in the world worth watching. The silence between them becomes a character in itself. Fan Xiao should say something, anything, but he can't. His mind is completely scattered. All his earlier confidence disappears. He even begins thinking ridiculous things internally, like whether the hotel has certain items available for purchase. But all of that is kept subtle, hinted through his expression, not spoken aloud. Shulang takes a slow sip of his wine and continues looking at him with that gentle, controlled smile that somehow feels more intense than anything passionate. It's the kind of smile that knows exactly how much power it has. For once, it feels like Shulang is the one teasing him, flipping the usual dynamic upside down. This time, Fan Zhao is the flustered one, the one losing balance, the one unsure what to do. And Shulang enjoys it. Just a little. Not maliciously, but tenderly. Finally, Shulang shifts slightly and extends the glass of wine toward Fan Zhao. Not dramatically, not flirtatiously, just simply, naturally. As if sharing a quiet moment like this is something he's wanted to do for a long time. Fan Zhao takes it slowly, their fingers brushing for half a second, and that tiny touch sends another wave of unspoken tension through the hallway. Fan Zhao can't even hide the way he looks at him now, wide-eyed, overwhelmed, unsure whether he's supposed to breathe, speak, run away, or step closer. The scene ends softly but powerfully, Fan Zhao standing there with the wine in hand, still dripping water from his hair, staring at Shulang like he's completely undone, and Shulang watching him with an expression that says everything he refuses to put into words. The entire moment feels like the beginning of a shift, the start of something deeper, something neither of them can pretend to ignore anymore. There with the wine in hand, still dripping water from his hair, staring at Shulang like he's completely undone, and Shulang watching him with an expression that says everything he refuses to put into words. The entire moment feels like the beginning of a shift, the start of something deeper, something neither of them can pretend to ignore anymore.